Welcome back to kite racing in Australia. Race 5 on day 2. Check it out. This is going to be awesome, folks. Day 2 is going to be sick. Flymax Kites have brought you this video and Jing Kiteboarding. Let's get straight into it. Look at these rounds. So this is the ones we've already done. Victoria's been. We're in WA now. It is day 2. It's a 3-day event. We have scheduled 6 races day 1, 6 races day 2, 6 on day 3. We only got through 4 on day 1, and day 2 is not playing ball. The weather's a bit crap, and we've got offshore conditions, which is a bit weird for Perth. No sea breeze. Oh, and Anchorage there should be southwesters nuking through, and it is not. It is actually pretty weird. We've started late and sending everybody out with this strange sou'easter that's up and down. So you're going to see some really gusty, fickle, and weird conditions here today at Owen Anchorage JBSC Sailing Club. The course is a standard windward leeward, port rounding at the top mark, and then down through the bottom gates left or right, and then up round for a second lap, round the pin end, and back through that finish line behind the boat. So we are looking at potentially around 10 knots of breeze, but it is lulling into the sort of low mids, about 5 or 6 knots in places, and up to sort of 15 or so in the middle. And here's our standing so far. So you can see Scotty and Hector, 2 bullets apiece. These guys are fighting it out at the front. Alty Frisbee is normally taking bullets left, right, and centre. He's relegated to 2nd and 3rd in a lot of these races, but right at the front of that pack is chasing him down. Also with Lando, Cooksey, Marvin, etc. Those guys are gunning down towards that front pack. But this is really the Hector and Scotty show. So this is going to be really interesting to see here. Where do these guys stand on this day? So everyone, I think, is on like 15-metre kites. Slightly bigger kites. They're managing their lulls. They're going to have to be really tactical around the course here. And we're having a look. There's obviously still 20-odd kites out there. A few of the ones you can see there. The red kite there is Hector on his 15-metre Flymax Boom V2. And Scotty on the Fly Surfer VMG2, this sort of yellow-greeny coloured kite. Alty Frisbee leading the charge on the black R1 V4 ozone kite with the large white wingtip, and a few more of those ozones out there, including Cooksey, who's on the one with the slightly smaller white wingtip, the V3, and Marvin on the bright white R1s, and Ludo on the blue. And there's the start line. We're looking, everyone's going in the middle there and pretty close to the line. It's a pretty good start for most. We've got Lando down here at the pin end, obviously looking for space and speed. And I think maybe Dr. Phil there with him, or no, sorry, that's Alty on the pin end there with Ludo behind. And then in the middle of this pack here, you've got the red and yellow kite there. So the red Hector, the yellow Scotty, and Oscar Tim behind there on the Formula X equipment, the F1 Halo. And then Marvin in the middle there on the white kite, the Ozone R1. And then I think Jane Taylor behind on the black Flymax Boom V2. And yeah, on the left-hand side of the screen here, we've got Cooksey, who's going high, and Tom going with him. Like Tom, very fast there, matching for angle and speed. And here's the race at the front. Look at Hector and Scotty here. They're both tacking away at exactly the same time. And Hector pulled out a couple of meters there. So he seems to have fantastic speed today on this Boom V2. He's really getting good speed and angle. So this is going to be a fantastic drag race with these two guys. Who is going to be fastest upwind? And Cooksey behind there, you can see the slightly older generation of kite there, just holding him back a little bit. But obviously he's a sensational rider. He's normally in that contest for bullets, and last nationals obviously got loads of them. But you can see there the equipment getting a bit tired, holding him back a bit. But look at these two on their brand new Olympic race kites gunning towards the front. Hector really holding on for fantastic speed and angle there, and pulling out a few meters on Scotty here, which Scott will not be used to this. He is generally the fastest guy around and just absolutely smashing everybody, and Hector is quick. And look at this, we've got a bloody ferry sand pumping barge in the ley line, so that is terrible. What a shame. Obviously we had to set the course further out to sea today, and that's just really unfortunate timing there. But yeah, Hector and Scotty having to tack away early. So will them, and there's Alty hammering up the inside. He is so fast upwind, and he's almost beat them there, but has to put his tack in. And he's done the right thing there, Alty. Good on you, mate. Left a bit of room. But what's going to happen here? Scott is pinching for that mark. Pinch. Alty around, and Scott has no speed. That's a shame. He's going to really struggle to get his speed back up on that VMG now. Alex right on his tail. So that chase group, it is on for hammer and tong with those boys in that chase group. But look at Hector go. He is flying away. Absolutely got it pinned. Full throttle. wide open flat out there and hammering downwind, throwing a jibe, looking to go to the inside of the track, which sets him up very nicely to come into those bottom gates on starboard tack with rights. So good tactical move here by Hector. He's out in front. He's going to protect that lead, get himself into some good open water here. And he is going to come in and look to smash him into that bottom gate. And on what we can't see in the picture here, there will be Alty and Scotty Whitehead and Lando and Cooksey and Marvin all fighting it out, going down that back straight a bit further and looking to see if they can get some better air here, because it is fickle. There are parts of this course where it is really light wind. And Hector looking to throw his jibe here and head back into those gates. So hopefully he has found himself perfectly on the ley line for that right-hand gate as we look at them from this direction, which he will round and head around onto the left, of course. And there's, Alty has had a belter downwind. And remember, Alty hasn't done the same jibes there. So he's made up some ground in a fantastic effort. And they are going to split the course. Alty is deciding to go to the right, of course, and Hector to the left. So who is going to win this? They have gone round at exactly the same time. Let's watch how they go going upwind. Scotty coming through there. He has been beat up a little in this race, and he's been pushed back, going for third and having to fight for it tooth and nail with Lando, who is absolutely lightning quick on those Diablo 5s. So, and Cooksey coming through in the back there in fifth place there. So Alty will be pedal to the metal here. He knows Hector went the other way. He's hoping that ley line there, but good luck finding that bloody ley line out there. It's a needle in a haystack with that shifting wind. That is a really, really tough conditions to find where that ley line is there. So Alty looks like he might have nailed it. He's heading back across, but we won't know until Hector comes through from the other side of the field. He'll be coming through any minute now. And these guys are going to meet up on this run into the top mark, and we are going to find out who has won this upwind battle. Look at that water there. You can see the gusts in the top right, and you can see the lulls coming through the middle of the screen there on the left. This is really patchy, tricky conditions, which is a difficult thing on a kite. And here we go. How close are we? Hector has pulled out about 10 metres on him there and still has a tack to go though. So there's nothing in this, but Alty is short of that ley line. So Hector is heading to the top now. Now look at those shifting, turning fingers of wind there. He's going to have to try and find that top line. And it's really important because he's only just passed in front of Alty and he hasn't done a tack yet. So these guys are absolutely neck and neck for this lead here. So Hector really needs to get this jibe, and there's some fantastic drone footage there of the that tack and that beautiful Boom V2 kite through that tack. And there's Alty right on his hammer. Hector has managed to keep in front, so that is a wonderful effort. Alty still with a tack to go. And Hector's going to be looking here to make sure he's on that ley line into this top mark, but that looks like he might be a little short, and he is. Hector having to tack twice again here. This is a really tricky situation. Alty's going to be coming through any second. He has to get this tack in quickly. And he should, there he comes. He's got his tack in, and where's, he's right on his hammer. Look at this. Alty with momentum, coming in hot. Now they're just going to drag race down to the finish. But Hector with the ace up the sleeve. He has a rocket pack. And look at Scotty there, pinching, pumping for the mark. He cut that short again, and he's so tough at that top mark today. And Scotty, really well done not having a double tack there. But he has got no momentum, and these two are running away. And Alty there is really deep downwind. And, you know, he is known for his fantastic finesse and touch downwind. And look at Hector, there's pressure there, and Hector is coming into that pressure. Alty has full depth, but he's not going to need it there. I think Hector's on the ley line. You can see the buoy in the top of screen there. Hector is heading straight at that buoy. He has pinned that mark rounding. He has a perfect line, and they are both in strong wind now. So these guys are going to run away to the finish. You can see that gust there on the water. Fantastic drone footage here. This is really a wonderful way to see what's happening technically on the course here. Here's some pleb in the background marker coming through. I think that might be me. Get out of the way, sunshine. We've got fast riders coming through here, mate. And Hector is looking to take this win and put his kite up. And momentarily sidetracked there with the drone, looking for other riders. But it's these two in front that are stealing the show. Hector through for his last turn. And Alty following with his turn 2, last jibe. Send that kite low, and Hector will smash into the finish here. Absolutely flying. So wonderful race from Hector there. Really beautifully done. A couple of little tiny mistakes. That double tack at the top. I think everybody struggled to make that top mark. It just was so deceptive. And with that wind being offshore, you're getting closer, the wind's getting worse as you get there. You think you've got that ley line, and then all of a sudden you're having dramas. But how you handle them is important, and a fast double tack gets you through. Scotty had a few dramas there too. He'll learn from this one and come back and be more competitive in these following races. Couple of little errors. And the old VMG2 doesn't seem to like it if you make a couple of mistakes till you lose that momentum. And you've got to get that thing hot and firing again. Scotty normally doesn't do that. He normally has that flat stick. And here's Lando going across the line on his Diablo V5. Also a wonderful, very, very fast, awesome kite. And Lando, an absolute gun rider. Not as much time in the racing scene as the other three in front of him, but he is catching those guys fast. He is one to watch. And another really good performance there right behind those guys. So wonderful work there from Lando. And Cooksey, again, another great finish. Seemed to run a pretty good race. Obviously got taken out yesterday and had a few dramas. Good to see him have a nice clean race. No massive face plants today, unfortunately. They're wonderful value to watch, but I'm sure he'd prefer to keep his face on and not have people run his legs over. So he's had a good race today. That's a good result. And we'll just cover a couple more of these back markers before we wrap it up. Not back markers, I should say. People coming through right behind that ultra fast group at the front. We've got Marvin there on his Ozone R1. Looks like he's just cruising along. Probably going to go have a chat with the boat and lodge a protest. Cruising through there, having a bit of a chin wag. And these two fighting it out, Ludo and the Formula X rider, Oscar Timms, on that F1 Halo behind him. And Ludo's had to do everything to hold those quick young fellas out. So good finish there and a good result for Ludo too, who had a few struggles on day one, but he's on the right size R1 V4 now and looking very, very good. So here's the results from 5 races. What do we got? We got Hector there with 3 bullets, 2 in a row. Wonderful work. And Scotty has 2. And isn't it interesting to see the discards there too? So Alty Frisbee with some seconds and thirds. He is right on the chase. Unlucky to get a bullet in that one. Lando right behind him, hot on the heels of that group. Cooksey following through behind that pack. And Marvin, Bree, Oscar, Tim, Ludo, etc. fighting it out. Tom doing really well there to be right on the back of Ludo. But not in that race, unfortunately, a 10th, but he will get better. Jane Taylor doing well, and she gets better through the regatta as well. But starting to find a form there in the conditions and not as overpowered as day one. Darren Marshall, solid performance. Previously hasn't made this one, DNF, unfortunately. Jake Tim, solid as usual. Dan Anderson on Formula X as well. And a few of those guys, they're looking to improve. They've had a bit of a shocker on the day one, and some of those fellas are going to come really good. Really fast riders in that bottom order there, just getting organised. So some fantastic racing to come. And thanks again to Flymax and Jing Kites for sponsoring this footage. And this is Copyright Performance Kites Australia. Thanks for watching the racing. We'll see you for the next race.